there you had it. What better introduction do you need than a performance of belly dancing, right?
Excellent. It's very interesting. Like we mentioned, we've seen this on the TV. Now it's right here in front of us. It's right here at home in Belize, done by none other than Maryam. My gosh. That was a performance.
Yes.
And you could see the intensity of it.
Yeah. I do it the same way.
Good morning. Karen Vernon is here with us of Institute of Creative Arts.
Yes,
right.
And Maryam Abdul Kwawi is here with us as well. Hi, good morning to both of you.
Hi, morning. Nice to see you guys.
Besides,
Try to catch my breath.
I was going to say you don't look the least bit exhausted after that.
Not even sweating.
I guess you're extremely used to it. You're so used to this, so you're not even showing the deep breath or the deep breathing in and breathing out. So excellent job, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a nice way to wake up in the morning.
It is.
7 o'clock, belly dancing and shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
Shimmy, shimmy. That's my favorite move, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
So you've been practicing?
No, I do it in my head.
See, Maryam, I've been saying that Karen can be able to join into the workshop because she's a dancer, right?
Yes.
But she says...
She came from me yesterday, but it was like, hey.
Yeah. She was like, no, I shimmy right there. So I was like, okay, right now I'll let you do that, but eventually I'll try to get her to a workshop. Hopefully.
Let's get into your background in
Yes.
terms of how you first discovered that you enjoyed belly dancing.
It started like in 2006. I was in college getting my bachelor's, and my roommate was from an Arab country. And she came in one day and I made a whine, like punter, Creole. I was dancing punter rebels. It was a Saturday, traditional. I was cleaning like a good Belizean girl. But I was listening to music and she came in and was like, wow, what is that? And I was like, oh, that's how we dance back home. And she's like, oh, it's similar to how I dance, but we move the hips to the side. And then we involve the chest movements and stuff. So once that, I mean, and our friendship deepened and we had an international show that they did every year, and I was the lone Belizean representing Belize. She taught me how to belly dance. She put on a choreography, and that's when it started in 2006. And she told me, she was like, you know, you're a natural, like, you know, you should keep up with this. And then I started studying under a teacher in 2009 when I went to grad school. Wow. And then I learned that it wasn't just like shaky, shaky, like what I saw and what my roommate taught me. It had a lot to do with a lot of technique, good body posture, everything. Like everything is deliberate, even down to the finger, down to the toe has to be like nice and pointed and dainty. And it helped me get in touch with my femininity and be proud of that, because I was more of like a tomboy growing up, you know, and a book smart girl, and I didn't want people to think I was girly. But belly dance really let me embrace that and be graceful and dainty and have fun with it, you know?
Now, I love that you pointed out that there's a lot of technique behind it.
Yes.
Because where we look at punta, for example, and how some women just seem to do things with their hips we couldn't imagine.
Right.
Belly dancing is a particular art form that requires much more than just moving the hips.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Right now I'm teaching these workshop classes and series, and I explain to the girls belly dance has 3 basic movements, but the first technique is isolation. So you notice if I'm moving one part of my body, that's it. You can't move anything else. And you have to frame and you have to hold your body in a certain position. And there's 3 basic movements in belly dance. There's the percussive movements when you see the hip moving to the drum beat. And then there are the fluid movements where the arms are really nice and graceful. And then there's the vibration movements. What everybody loves is the shimmy, when you move your hips really, really fast. And then I do a floating shimmy where I move with it.
Okay.
And that's like my favorite. So there is a lot of technique. I mean, and it, Marlene, really, like, it goes on and on and on. Like, each culture in the Arab countries have their own way of belly dance, its own style. And then within their country, there are different ways of doing it. So it's not just, oh, this style is the style. No, this is Egyptian cabaret. I do Egyptian style. I love Egyptian beat, Arabic music. That's basically what I use. But then I infuse a lot of things that I like to do, the head movements, a little bit of Indian fusion and stuff like that.
And there's the one that does the belly roll too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so the belly roll.
That's hard. It looks hard.
It looks difficult.
Yeah, the belly roll is just about getting to know your anatomy, and that's basically it, you know, because you have all these different muscles in your stomach. And yes, when you initially start to tell your body to take this, you know, push the stomach out, push it in, do it on command and all this stuff, your stomach's like, whoa, what's going on here? But eventually, when you continue to practice,
It's like a flow. Like,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you're just able to roll the belly on command. You know what I mean? So it takes time and it takes practice, but you can do it. Anyone can do it. And I wanted to say this as well. Some of the best belly dancers in the world and teachers are male.
Oh, there you go. I was
You see,
telling
there you
John
go.
he should have tried it this morning.
After 10 years, 2006 to 2016, now you're at this level of belly dancing that people would say, whoa, what is the level? Because I'm sure you've met professional dancers.
Yeah.
Now you're a professional
Yes.
yourself. What's the entry level like? Because a lot of people would find this very interesting. Like I mentioned, we only see this on international television.
Yeah.
We don't see it here at home.
Right.
So you've got me into it.
Okay.
You've captivated me. What's my level now? How do I start? Where do I go?
Super beginner. Just, entry level. Like,
Yeah.
you have to start with a class. You have to get in a class to learn about your body, to learn about posture, to learn about isolation, to learn about your neck, your shoulders, basically to learn your skeletal system all over again. Because when it comes down to it, yes, the costume is beautiful and that's like, embellishment at the end, but you have to get that blueprint, which is the technique and everything like that. And that takes time and that takes your own practice.
Yeah.
Because no matter how many belly dance classes you take or any classes you take, that with school, you can go so many hours, but unless you do the homework and unless you practice and unless you get to know your body, then it won't work. So once you come in, if you come in with that knowledge already, it kind of helps the teacher to help you. But if you don't know like anything at all, like I had a student last night, she never danced ever before. And it was so surprising by the end how she was moving, like she was so free and so in touch with her body. So it's really about getting in touch with your body.
As you started to talk to us, we noticed a change in your breathing. We know the intensity of belly dancing and the shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Now, what does belly dancing does to your health? Are you able to eat whatever you want? Are you able to? What do you do?
Okay, it is definitely beneficial to your health. It's a great workout. It's a great ab workout. Because when you're doing it, it's not just like you said, it seems so effortless and flawless and you're just shaking. You're actually engaging muscles, engaging core a lot of the time. You have to have a strong core to do a lot of these belly dance movements. And then in regards to eating and stuff like that, a lot of these cultures where this comes from, people are eating like all kinds of things. They're eating beef a lot. That's a part of their culture.
Yeah.
They're eating hummus a lot. They're eating what's in their culture and they're fine. You know what I mean? And there are, you would say, bigger in body type belly dancers. And some of those belly dancers are the best in the world.
Yeah.
So it really depends on you and your body type and your goal of who you want to become as a performer, as a dancer, and as a belly dancer. But I would encourage that you have healthy eating and you work on your body as far as being fit and healthy, because it does help you in the dance. It gives you more control.
And stamina.
Yes.
because you really have to get out there and you really have to go like really like crazy and dance really with all your heart and all your passion.
Now, Karen, let's just talk about, obviously, we know that the Institute of Creative Arts, you guys try to offer as much as possible a diverse mix of opportunities for people.
Yes.
And having Maryam here, how did you guys decide that you were finally, we've seen you work with the Belize National Dance Company, we've seen you do individual performances. How did you guys finally come together and say, let's offer it to the public?
Well, Maryam recently came back from a workship in Cancun. It was I think it was a 1-week workshop that she went to, and she asked for assistance through the Dance X program to attend this workshop. So one of the things that we do throughout the year for dance, and this is an initiative from Dance X, is try to offer workshops and training in different dance techniques. So the belly dance was one of those aspects. So she came on board with that, and we are having a 3-day workshop. It started yesterday from 6 to 8 at the Bliss. It continues tonight from 6 to 8, and then on Saturday from 2:30 to 5 p.m.
Now, it's interesting because you have 3 days of workshop. It's not that it continues each day, because people can opt to be able to take just one day. Why that particular format?
I mean, I would have preferred actually for people to take the 3 days, or at least the first two, because the first day is introduction. Today, the second day is combinations and drills, and then the last day is choreography. We're gonna put it all together.
Okay.
But I know some people were unable to come last night, but today is combination and drills. And so that basically just means that whatever we learned last night, we're gonna drill tonight. They're gonna get tired of shimmying, they're gonna get tired of belly dancing, they're gonna get tired of hip drops, they're gonna get tired of chest locks and lifts and whatever, because we're gonna drill tonight. Like they're gonna learn the movement and they're just gonna do it over and over and over. If you wanna learn something, repetition. So even if they miss last night, they take tonight, they'll be ready for tomorrow for choreography.
Nice. So
And
even
what's
if
been the response so far?
As she said last night, we had what, 8 people? About 8 people. But I know tonight, you know, we have people who have already signed up.
Okay.
And I watched the workshop last night, and she really, you know, she breaks down everything so that, you know, like it's not just getting there. It's baby steps up to getting there.
so this workshop, it's being held where?
At the Bliss.
At the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Now, who can take part? Anybody? You feel like dancing tonight. You feel like learning something
What
new.
is the best entry-level participant?
Anyone.
Never danced. 2 left feet.
Yeah,
Never
there was
danced.
a young lady from the YMCA last night who came by.
And she never.
She saw the flyer and she said, I want to do that, so they brought her.
You know,
Men, women,
Anyone.
older, younger.
Yes, I would encourage anyone, because I mean, it's just about moving your body in a certain way. I mean, and everybody has hips, everybody has shoulders, everybody has arms, everybody has a chest. So it's just about learning how to engage with your body in a different way. It's all about a relationship, building a relationship with your body. And yes, there's a part of belly dance that has to do with sensuality, and to maybe some people just watching, it's like, oh, it's very pretty and it's very sexy, but it has a lot to do with technique. It has a lot to do with discipline and form. If you have the proper form, then all of that sensuality and grace and attitude, that's you. I don't teach that. I teach you the technique, and then you bring your personality into it.
Makes sense.
So how I belly dance will be different than how Marlene belly dance, you know?
It's a stretch, but, no, it's absolutely beautiful, and I think that it's key that we bring up that question, because it can seem intimidating. It looks like something for experienced dancers to be able to isolate your movements the way you do, and whether or not you'd be able to keep up with the classes. Since you had your first experience last night, what was the feedback you got from your participants in terms of, man, this is really hard, or it's totally different from what I expected?
I got a response with both.
Yeah.
There were people who, they were dancers. I know them, I've danced with them, so I know that they can dance, and they were just like in pain, like, I have to keep my arms up. I was like, yes, you have to keep your arms up. It's just been a minute. Sometimes in a dance, my arms are up for the whole 5 minutes. So, and then I had responses where people were like, wow, this was so different than what I thought, but you know, I'm coming for all 3 days and I'm gonna challenge myself.
You know, there are a lot of people who would take up different stuff or different things, different hobbies to try and get things off their mind. Would you say this one would be one of the best one because of the intensity of it, because of what you have to do or how you need to move your body? Would you say that?
I think, yeah, it could go that way. You know, I mean, any hobby or anything is just your interest, your and what you want to put into it. So if this is something that you really, really enjoy and you really love the music, I think it has a lot to do with the music. Different drum rhythms require different movements, different parts of the songs. When the symphony comes in, the violins, that is not hip, that's arms, that's graceful, that's losing yourself in the beauty of the music. If you enjoy music and if you enjoy movement, just no matter what, you'll enjoy belly dance.
And what do you find is the the largest adjustment that people have to make in learning belly dancing? Is it, because you mentioned some very important things. One, it's posture, which so many of us, including myself, very bad at.
Reminding yourself, okay.
Isolation, which is difficult in itself. What do you find is the hardest adjustment for people that takes some work?
That takes some work. I would definitely say first the posture, because there's definitely a belly dance posture, a dance posture that you should keep, because you don't want the tailbone to be flared out like that. So if your butt is pushed out like that in the back, that's bad for your lower back. You can actually injure yourself. But any dance class you take, they would tell you to tuck the pelvic area in, keep the spine nice and straight in the back. For some people that's hard, especially if they walk like that and push up. So you have to tell them like, adjust again, like what are you doing? Adjust, adjust, and they're like, or they collapse their chest.
Yeah.
And you have to stay lifted. You have to stay lifted.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier, belly dance is, I mean, down to every part of your body. So even your fingers, you can't just be, you're doing a great job with your core and everything, but your hands are just there. There needs to be energy in the fingers. I teach the girls and the guys about pretty fingers. You know, so if your hand's extended, you have to, you know, have it nice and set in a formed technique way. So it's really about getting them to get into their body. Like that's the main part. The main challenge is to them to keep the posture throughout. Don't lose it. Don't lose the posture. Don't lose the posture. When they start going down, they start like moving everything. I'm like, no, keep the posture. Don't move. Just keep the posture. And they're like, I can't. I'm like, yes, you can. Just keep the posture. And then also the isolation. Very, very difficult. Like I'm like, just move your hip. Don't move anything else. They're just like, that's a foreign concept. Like, I don't know what you're saying. Like, what? I'm not supposed to move anything else. I'm like, no, because that's the area that you're drawing attention to. You know, that's the area that the music is asking you to move. It's not asking you to move anything else. So it's just about awareness and control. Like,
once when people try to move their hips and they move their entire body.
That's what I do. Like,
that's me.
my head. But she was also saying last night that one of the things she notices that you know, you have to do one side, you have to do the other side, and people have a problem doing like, okay, they can do the right side pretty good, but when it comes to the left side, so that's just practice.
Yeah. For example, last night we a movement that we actually do in our Belizean punter is we do the whining, you know, and there's the Garifuna version and the Creole version. But either most Belizeans, I would say, no matter across the ethnicities, we can punter, we can whine. We're engaged with our hips. We're not ashamed of that. We're not, you know, but we mostly do it on one side.
Oh.
You don't go the other way. So last night, when I was like, go the other way, oh my God.
Oh, that was your entertainment then.
They were like, what? I was like, no, everything that we do on one side, we have to do on the other side. So we had to break that down. And they were like, whoa, this feels wrong. Like, I was like, no, you know, it's about getting in touch with your body.
Only imagine how people at home are watching and thinking, hold on, let me
try this. Let me try this on the other side.
Don't lie, you're doing it right now.
Very, very interesting, because as you speak and as you move,
you're trying it, right?
You know, we're trying to do this, but you're right, because as you speak, I see it, and you are right in terms of saying that when you dance the punta, or when you're dancing Brockdong music, your body, you're actually moving only one way.
And it's usually in a circle, or some people we go
side to side.
But it's there's one side that's more dominant. And that's the side that you're leaning on. But as a belly dancer, you have to be balanced and you have to go on both sides, and you have to be able to do it interchangeably.
So how did you learn to eventually take it around? This day, while dancing the punta back in 2006 in college, and your friend went in and said, "What are you doing? It's similar to what we do."
Process.
When did you learn to move the other way? And how hard was it for you? I'm trying to put my mind to this. How hard was it for you?
It was definitely it was definitely different. I wouldn't say it was hard. It was just like, how am I? I'm moving in a different way. So I didn't think this is hard. I thought this is strange. This is different. Why I would never think to go in the opposite direction. And it was actually getting more into the dance and seeing another dancer do it, a male dancer named Tito from Egypt. He's actually like the government of Egypt has dubbed him as like the male belly dancer of Egypt, of the world. So if you want to see a male belly dancer that's like amazing technique, Tito.
And what do they wear?
And he wears like a long white robe, and he just ties a black cloth around his hips. That's it. And he has his little white kufi on. No, full white robe.
Okay.
Like a full white robe.
So how do you see the movement?
Oh, his technique is amazing. His technique is so perfect.
You know, we'll all be Googling it later.
His technique is so amazing that you see you definitely see his movement. So, but to go back to your question, I mean, it was strange. That's what it was. It was like, okay, I'm a dancer. I love movement. I never thought to move my body in this way. I've seen belly dancers do it. I was introduced to it. Now I have to try. And so it was just a nice challenge for me and something for me to do and to practice and to keep in mind, like, when I get to that, like, lazy default, like, oh, on the right, like, I'm next side. And last night, it really caught the girls off guard. It was fun because we were doing the drills, and I was like, okay, left side. And they were like, whoop, they had to think about it. And they were like fighting with their bodies, but I told them to practice. So hopefully tonight we see a development. So
now, Karen, how does this fit into, obviously DanceX is coming up in November, and you said this is a part of that. How will it fit into the overall program?
Well, we were hoping to do a continuity with the workshops, but unfortunately Maryam is leaving by the end of the month. She'll be gone. She's going to school. So, you know, she's always a fixture in dance. She always performs for the past 4 years. I think she has been, 3 years she's been performing in dance. So we won't have her this year, but at least the students that she's teaching would have had an introductory to belly dancing.
Oh, so it was really, it's your last chance to be able to get, to be a part of the workshop and to learn the technique.
For the next 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So tonight it starts at what time?
6.
And tomorrow it's at 2?
2:30.
Okay.
2:30.
And the cost of the workshop?
It's $10 per workshop.
$10 per workshop.
Yes.
All right. And Maryam, if you were just to say what has been the greatest personal benefit for you from adapting this new style of dance? You said you're a dancer, you do other forms as well, but specifically with belly dancing, what's been the best personal gain for you?
That's a good question. The best personal gain, I would definitely say for me was to just get in touch with my feminine side. I think I mentioned that earlier, but to just accept myself and accept my body. Yes, your body will change if you're constantly doing any type of movement. You see a dancer's body, it looks like a dancer's body. You see a belly dancer's body, it looks like that. And then sometimes you gain weight, you lose weight. A lot of things happen. But you know, when you're backstage and you're getting ready to go out there, or you're rehearsing those long hours, no one sees that. They only see that 2 minutes or 5 minutes when you're on stage. They don't see all that. So for me, it was definitely to help me gain more discipline, and also not only just the discipline, but to just accept my body where I am. You know, your weight will fluctuate, things will change, you'll break out. You know, women, your hormones are up and down. Sometimes your hair's all falling out. All kind of things happen. But you know that when you're on stage, that's the most important moment for you, and for you to accept yourself and just be in the moment. So for me, it was definitely like a self-acceptance journey.
All right. So do you just show up at the Bliss tonight at 6?
Just show up, yeah.
Okay.
This will be in the dance studio.
Tonight it starts at 6 p.m. How long will it run for?
2 hours.
2 hours?
Okay.
All right. 6 p.m. at the Bliss tomorrow at 2. Definitely a great opportunity for people. Maryam, go ahead and tell people why they should come out, especially if they're very hesitant. It's like, oh, I'm overweight. Oh, I have 2 left feet. Oh, I'm a male. I'll be the only male there.
No, that's not true.
2 left feet. Wow.
No, you should definitely come out. I have one of my friends, he's a male dancer, and he texts me like, I can't come tonight, Maryam, but I'm coming tomorrow.
Okay.
And he's very confident in his dance and his body. So, I mean, maybe it's different, maybe it's foreign, but if you're interested, you know, but you're a little shy, you could stand in the back. I'll pull you in front anyway. But, you know, you should definitely come out. You know, it's something different. You try something new. You never know. You can expose yourself and get to learn. You can surprise yourself. You can learn something new about yourself that you didn't realize that, yes, maybe it looks difficult, but once you learn the basic and the foundation like anything else, you can do it.
All right. Well, thank you all for
Thank you
joining
so
us
much.
For having us.
and giving us that last encouragement for you at home. If you've been trying to whine on the other side, start practicing during the day so that tonight it's a little bit easier for you. Don't miss it. It's a belly dancing workshop taking place at the Bliss. 2 days left, and it's $10 per workshop. Don't miss it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we'll be talking about a show
right.
that is being coordinated by Sandy Bradshaw, and it's called Intimately Yours. So stay tuned.